Hi, and welcome back to I Confess with Travis. I'm your host, Travis Bartlett, and today I'm going to be talking to a guy where he is going to be telling me a story about how he was actually adopted. So, let's go ahead and start making my first call. All right, so how you doing?
I'm good, man. I can't complain.
Okay,
You know,
so I hear you got a story you want to tell.
yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'd be real brief, real quick. So I was born in an orphanage in Russia, in Kaliningrad,
Mm-hmm.
outside of Russia, which is still a Russian territory. It's
Mm-hmm.
in between. It's in the middle of Poland and Lithuania, which is still Russian territory. Anyways, got adopted when I was 5 years old to an American family, and that's about it, man. I went through a lot of aggression, a lot of the issues, trying to fit in. Other than that, here I am, 2024.
Mm-hmm. Like,
It's all.
like, like, when you said you were adopted, did you like know that you were being put in a foster home or like?
No, well, before I got adopted by the parents I have right now,
Mm-hmm.
I got adopted by an old lesbian couple,
Oh, okay.
which was weird. Me and
Mm-hmm.
another, me and another kid, meet Kyle, were adopted, and I cut up their clothes, man. Like they were very disrespectful. They didn't treat me very nicely, right? As a kid, when you're younger,
Mm-hmm.
and so I cut up their clothes, and they gave me back up to the church.
Oh, wow.
And luckily, my mom, she was in the band of the church or whatever, right? And she wanted to adopt a kid, and I was just, I guess I got picked. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's shit like that. That's things like that will make you believe in God.
Right.
Like you don't come from across the whole continent. Like
Mm-mm.
that just doesn't happen. Like what are the odds?
Right.
But that's
Um.
my story.
But have
That's
you
my
ever
story.
met your parent, like your real biological parents?
My dad, no, he was in prison for aggravated assault, right? So, and then my mom, I met her once. Met my mom once when I was a very young kid in the orphanage,
Mm-hmm.
and she was my mom was a prostitute or a hooker. So, yeah, all red. That's all I remember. Seeing her, talking to her on a curbside, and all red heels, dress, this all red,
Oh,
straight
wow.
walking whore, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
What? I mean, at the time, bro, there wasn't many options. So,
right.
uh,
See, I actually
but
had two friends that they were actually together, and they were considered like drug addict, alcoholics kind of people. The mom
yeah,
was a stripper, and the dad, on the other hand, was in a gang, and they were basically just popping babies left and right. And before you know it, the kids ended up in the foster care by the state.
yeah, yeah. It's, I mean, inevitable.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just imagine like going to school and then the teachers ask and say, "Well, what do your parents do for a living?" Well, my mom's a stripper and my dad is a gang member. Like that's going to be
Yeah,
one story that's going to be considered a parent teacher conference.
yeah. They'll be showing up on fucking parent teacher day.
Right.
Yeah, whatever the
That's
fuck.
it's horrible.
Can you imagine? Yo, that'd be hilarious, dog.
Yeah,
I would actually.
just imagine like if just imagine like if
What,
my parents did that to me.
bro? If you had career day right now, yeah,
This
fuck
is
it,
my mom. She's a
motherfucker.
stripper. And this is my dad. He works as a gang member. And
This
they
is the
make
clock.
money.
OnlyFans. This is what I do.
Right. That's that is pretty crazy though.
You have a bunch of parents on OnlyFans and
Mm-hmm.
shit.
Oh, I'm
I
just
mean,
trying to make a couple quick bucks here. Just
we're
imagine.
she's so talented. She's so talented. Like,
Right.
whoa, what's your problem? Big.
Exactly.
bigot.
Right.
Right. It's so comic. It's like too easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really is.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. I want to say thank you so much for telling me your story. All right. Bye. All right. So I really do understand, his situation because, he was actually adopted, and then he got adopted to an American family here in the U.S. I understand because there's a lot of kids out there that are like struggling on trying to find, parents that will actually accept them. I mean, it's like you're jumping from house to house to house, and I understand how frustrating that is, especially for a kid who can't seem to find an actual home, like to live in. But, I remember years ago, I kind of brought this up, but I didn't really post it on my podcast or anything or record anything about it. But, when he was talking about how his parents were like prostitutes, criminal, aggravated assault or whatever. What I hear like when I was growing up in Atlanta, and it's not just Atlanta, it's everywhere in the entire world. It's like you got people that'll start drinking and drugging and don't even realize that they got pregnant. And then it's like the next day you got a child on the way. And then they get to where they want to abuse that child. But all I can say is it happens. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take a break and I'll go ahead and take my second call. Alright, welcome back. And today I'm going to be talking to a guy where he's going to be talking about his relationship problems with this girl that he dated. I'm kind of interested. So, let me go ahead and take my second call. Alright, so how you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
Okay, so I hear you got a story you want to tell.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I got one. So basically, in last December, not last year's December, but the year before that.
Mm-hmm.
So I met this girl during winter break, and I was in like a, I was in I was, I didn't have a good mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna work on myself. I shaved my head. And I went in the gym, and then on Instagram, this girl texts me, and uh, you know who. So then we get together and we're dating for a couple months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden she was cool. She's like, I told her bye and we kissed each other. And then when I got home, she texted me, "Yo, we need to break up." She sent a breakup text, right?
Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah. So I was messed up in the head, right?
Mm-hmm.
I blocked her and everything, and I threw away all of the stuff she gave me. Not the clothes, but like the letters and
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, she kept like some stuffed animals I give her. I don't know if she has them to this day, probably not.
Mm-hmm.
So then a couple weeks later, she texted me like, "I haven't seen you at school, and I saw your friend carrying your bag. Or I just want to know if you're all right." And then you know me, I like I was like, what did I say? I acted like I was depressed,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "No, I'm good," and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I unblocked her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then one day during school, she comes up to me, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something." And this time I really missed her, so I got excited.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "I want to get back with you. Like, I want to make this work." So I said, "Okay." And we went on our different paths. So I
Mm-hmm.
went home. My friend texted me, "Yo, bro, she tried to get with this other guy, or this. We're actually in class. He didn't text me. He said, 'Yo, bro, Savannah tried to get with another guy. His name was Mason. He tried to she tried to get with Mason, and now she's trying to get back with you.'" I was like, "Oh, I was like surprised, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dang." And then he said, but I feel like, I kissed her. No, like she kissed him because they were still friends at the time. So then I'm like, okay, I'll keep that in mind when she tries to get back with me.
Mm-hmm. It's
So,
like she was trying to play it kind of way.
yeah, yeah. So I see her after school. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I just walked away, and then she texted me, why are you acting like this? I'm like, nah, I'm good. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. I kept saying that, and I was like, I heard what this friend said, and it was what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, fine, but it was only a kiss. She's talking about the kiss, and like that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, she instantly said, oh, the thing with Mason, and because I didn't even say anything, she knew that she wanted to get Mason, right? So I'm like, I just blocked her. And that's basically the story about how I dumped a shady girlfriend.
Oh, wow. See, I had something similar like that, but mine was going to be kind of funny when I tell you. See, I'm actually 33 years old now. But when I was like a teenager in school, my friend invited like everybody to a makeout party. And, I was like, okay, cool, a makeout party, because, I've never been to one. And I remember this first time, they said, we're going to do it this Friday, Friday night. And then all of a sudden,
wait. I have a question. This was a makeout party, like kissing out with
yeah, just making out, yeah.
Crazy.
But anyway, so that Friday night, everybody goes to a makeout party. And everybody shows up except for my girlfriend. And they had a strict rule. They said, like, if you accept it, they said there's going to be rules that say, like, if you don't show up or you walk out on the party or don't make out with anybody, they say you're going to be called a name, like going to be giving you a nickname, kind of like, say, like, whatever. Yeah. Well, anyway, I showed up at the party. Everybody else was making out except for me because I was just sitting on the couch trying to figure out when my girlfriend's going to get... Huh?
Why didn't you just leave?
Well, I did. But anyway, like, I waited like maybe 15, 20 minutes. Everybody was making out. I mean, I was kind of uncomfortable because I had no one to make out with.
Did you just hear...
Yeah, I kept hearing it. And then what happened was I waited like 15, 20 minutes. I was texting her, calling her. I constantly everything, and she never answered. And I basically just went home. And then my friend called me up and said, well, why did you leave? I said, well, my girlfriend never showed up. I said, because, because I understood the rules, because they say if you don't make out, leave, or whatever, you're going to get name called. Well, instead of giving me a name call, my friend called me up the next day because I told him what was going on, and he said, well, I think I might have an idea. So he kind of like bend the rules a little bit, like kind of twisted around. So, like I said, like, I got off the phone with him, told him everything. And then, after I got off the phone, my girlfriend comes up to my door, the house. She said, hey, do you want to hang out tonight? I said, where were you at last night? And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, me and you were invited to a makeout party and you didn't show up. Then she got mad at me. She said, oh, so you went to a makeout party without me? I said, you had the group text. I said, everybody was going to this party. Then I said, I was the only one just sitting there for like 30 minutes. I said, I waited for you to call, text me saying like, hey, you're running late or whatever. Nothing. She said, oh, well, I had a girl thing. I was like, oh, okay. I said, so what was that girl thing that was so important that you couldn't, come to the party, She said, well, it was just a normal girl thing. I said, so, okay. She didn't exactly want to tell me. I said, so I basically just kind of kind of what I did is I started getting into her head. I said, okay, so who is he? And he said, who? I said, are you cheating on me or not? She said, no, why? I said, well, I've been calling and texting you all day last night. And she was like, well, I told you I had a girl thing. It sounded like she cheated on me. But she didn't want, yeah, it was a cheating thing. Yeah, because girls do this thing, like they'll say things like, oh, well, I had a thing, but they don't want to tell you the exact story. So I knew she was like cheating on me. So I said, you know what? I said, I don't even want to talk to you anymore. And I basically just closed the door and I called up my friend. I said, she came up to the door, you know, was basically depressed and all this stuff. I mean, I just told him everything what was said. And he said, well, I have this idea. He said, since you did not make out with a girl, you know, with your girlfriend or whatever, we're going to make it like it's her fault. Like, we're going to give her a name.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Because you were there waiting to make out.
Yeah. So I don't get the name called or anything. So.
Can we cuss in this?
Yeah, you can.
Alright, thank you.
Anyway, so what happened was my friend on Monday morning, got on the school intercom and said, I like to thank everybody for showing up to the makeout party, especially Travis and the girl that did not show up named Mary. And there was a strict rule that says if you don't show up or make out or leave, you get name called. Well, let me introduce you to Virgin Mary.
Oh.
All over the school intercom. And then she came up to us just mad as hell. She's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, why am I being called Virgin Mary? I said, for one, I said, we told you. We said you got invited to an open house, like a open invite party, and you did not show up. I said, you know how embarrassed I am? Then she's like, well, now I'm embarrassed because everybody's going to call me Virgin Mary. And I'm like, well, I was like, now you see how I feel. I said, I was literally embarrassed. Everybody was making out.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know how upsetting that is? She's like, now I know how upsetting it is. Then she just basically just dropped out of school and went to another school after that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Was that your story?
Yeah.
How old were you when this happened?
I was like 16 or 17, I think.
Damn. I have a story. I have another story.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let me tell my story. So it was with the girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the worst story. Like, it's bad. It's embarrassing.
That's okay.
Alright, so when we first started dating,
mm-hmm.
I was kissing her normally. Like, I dropped her off at class. I kissed her.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I kissed her. So this one day, her mom's picking her up, and I see her mom's car, so I'm like, I hug her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about to kiss her. We always, and keep in mind, we always kiss. She never done this to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was about to kiss her, and she swerved me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in front of her sister, too. And that was so embarrassed, bro. I was actually so embarrassed. Because I was like, oh, shit. In my head, I was like, okay. Alright. Yeah, I'm like playing it off, laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's the first embarrassing story. Now, I'm not going to the second embarrassing story, though.
Well, that's okay. Well, anyway, thank you so much for telling me your story. I really do like his story. Because, you know, there's a lot of women out there who think that they can just, you know, do whatever they want, say whatever they want, and make it seem like that us guys are dumb, because it's like nowadays you got women who want to act like a player instead of wanting to be an actual person. Like, I understand how men would act most of the time, but when you get women who act just like that, they're not the type of women that you should be like spending your time with. So all I can say is, you know, be careful who you date. I understand there is a lot of people out there that want to just take this whole relationship into a game and don't realize that they're being played and stuff like that. So all I can say is be mindful and try to find someone that you can actually trust, you know. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go. If you guys actually want to be on my podcast, please text 478 901 4445. That's 478 901 4445. And I will talk to you guys next week.